time of year where everybody is happy, smiling, but trying to get the Christmas list done, and it can be really, really stressful. Joining us today is Heather Wagenhals, and Heather, I know that you are an identity theft management specialist. You know, this can be a time of the year where more identity thefts happen. Why is that?
Well, you know, we are so stressed out right now because we've got families to buy for. Maybe, you know, we lost our bonus or our job, so money is tight. So we're always looking for the greatest deal, and our guard is down. And that is what makes us so much more susceptible to these frauds and scams.
Well, I want to talk about when folks are going shopping. You're out at the mall, you're looking around for the perfect gift for somebody in your family. What do you need to be cautious about from a theft standpoint? Not necessarily identity theft, but maybe just somebody stealing money from your wallet, your purse, or your shopping cart.
Oh, I know. You know, we have to be vigilant these days. We have to make sure that if we're men, that we're carrying our wallets in our front pockets, so we're less likely to be pickpocketed from the front, or at least you'll be able to see it coming likely. And women, keep your handbags zipped up. And you might even keep your credit card stash separate. That's a little sneaky trick that I do. And I keep my credit cards and my cash out of my purse. Even though I have my purse on me, I have my money stashed somewhere else on my person. So if the bag was compromised, at least my identity and my credit cards are safe.
You're thinking, girl. I like it. I like it. Okay, so you make a good point. A lot of men put the wallets in their back pocket. I know you must hear some crazy stories about theft. Tell us some of the ones that stand out to you.
Well, I can tell you about a personal experience that I had when my husband and I were in Rome on our honeymoon. You know, they ride mopeds everywhere, and the streets are super narrow. He was walking in front of me because we had to go single file instead of side by side. And just out of this threshold, two girls popped, and one of them put up a piece of cardboard. The other one grabbed his hand, and the one went right in his front pocket and started pulling on his wad of cash. Now, my husband keeps rubber bands around it so it sticks to the pocket, so it makes it less likely to pull out. But they still made off with 20 euros. I got into a fist fight, thought I was going to be arrested. But people are really bold these days, so you just never know where it's coming from, and you have to be careful.
That is so crazy. A similar situation happened to my parents when they were in Italy. So there must be a lot of scams like that going on, not just overseas, but here in the U.S.
Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, people, there's a really popular trick where people say, oh, you dropped this and it's the money. And then they hand it to you and you're like, it's not my money. And they're like, oh, well, it's found money and it's the holidays. Take it. And then sure enough, you take it. They watch you put it in your wallet, and then they kind of follow you around. And then they say, hey, you know what? We should split that. Or maybe they'll try when you go to open up your wallet just to give the money back, they take your whole wallet. So, you know, we just have to be vigilant about these things. And it's unfortunate, but, you know, we're carried away with the mystique of the holiday, and we're very trusting when we should be very on guard.
Okay, and that's the thing that I have a hard time with, because let's say you're going to the mall, you're super excited because your kiddos are going to maybe meet Santa, sit on his lap for the first time, give him, you know, their wish list. And I know that there's people that take advantage of that. Have you heard stories of people waiting in that line to see Santa, and then they get robbed?
Well, you know, when they do get robbed, you don't even notice it, because what are you doing when you're waiting in line for Santa? You've got your credit card out or your checkbook, and you're holding it out while you're waiting to pay. And you get ready so you can make the process expeditious, especially if you have a problem child. And so you've got your credit cards out there, and anybody can be pretending to be on their smartphone. And while it looks like they're, you know, face chatting with somebody, they're actually taking pictures of your credit card numbers. So then they watch you type in your PIN, or they watch you and they copy your signature, and voila. Now they can go home with one of their credit card manufacturing machines, and they can make a card just like yours. Oh. They can start shopping with.
So Heather, what got you passionate about this topic? Was it your personal experience? Did you go through something challenging?
You know, when I was really young, it started when I was 18, and I was a victim of identity theft. This girl took my social security number where we signed in at work. You signed in with your name and your social security number on a chart that everybody could see. And she went and she bounced a ton of checks, and she got me in trouble. She had a warrant out for her to arrest for a speeding ticket she never paid for. So I had to get this dispensation from the courts to go to California to figure it all out. So that's kind of what made me start. And that was 30 years ago, my first victimization. And then it's escalated since then. And so that's what kind of made me become a watchdog, because there are simple things that we can do each and every day to protect ourselves from identity theft, frauds, and scams. The first thing is we have to make sure that we're aware.
Yes, so being aware. By the way, I'm sorry that happened to you. That sounds like the movie that Melissa McCarthy starred in, unfortunately. But I'm glad you're now helping educate other people. So being aware, what other tips can you give us, especially during this holiday season?
Okay, everybody wants to be budget conscious. But the problem with that is we use debit cards when we're budget conscious, but we need to avoid those. You know, a lot of financial gurus say cut up your credit cards, but those offer you the best consumer protections. If you're a victim of fraud on your debit card, the money is gone and now you're chasing it. But when you deal with a credit card, you have 30 days to dispute it and you're not out any cash.
Good to know. I think that's a great practice. And I'm hearing more about fake apps on your phone. What is that about?
Okay, so you would expect all major retailers to have an application that goes along with their website. But a survey last year revealed that only 1 in 3 major brands have those. And for example, Coach, Nike, Pandora, and Jay-Z's brand all were victimized by fake apps. And you would think that the vigilance in the Apple store would help prevent that. But these folks got on iTunes and they were installing malware on your phones, adware, or ransomware, where you had to pay to decrypt your phone. Or worse, you thought you bought merchandise on the app, and actually you just were a victim of card fraud because they stole your card information. Now they had all your personal information you hand typed in, and voila, they're internet shopping on your dime.
Oh my goodness. It's just, you don't want to think that's going to happen, especially during this time of the year. And do you think that's why it's more prevalent, because our guard tends to be down?
Absolutely. Our guard is down. But, the actual numbers don't say that it's actually higher at Christmas time. We're just more vulnerable here because the number one scam still at the last 2 years running has been the IRS tax scam. So even though we might think that the holidays are larger in fraud numbers, the actual fraud numbers aren't any higher. We're just victimized easier.
Okay, so again, let's just quickly recap the IRS scan. Are you referring to people getting fake calls from the IRS? Because the IRS will not call you.
That is correct. No, they mail you a letter through regular postal mail. So just a plain stamp is how you'll get it. And these people were getting phone calls. They were getting threats. They were told there were warrants out for our arrests. My producer actually got one, and he didn't answer the call. They left a voicemail, and so we were able to play it on my show, Unlock Your Wealth Radio. And Renee, it was hysterical because he was threatening to come to his house in a place that he hadn't lived for 15 years.
Wow.
So it's crazy. But, what happens is that we start to panic. I do a biology-based approach to money management and success. And for example, we already know to spend less and save more, but we don't.
Yeah, and Heather, thank you so much for chatting with us. We got to take a quick commercial break. Unlock Your Wealth Radio. That's where you'll find Heather, and we're back right after this.